again.
I am so sorry. I really should have.
Watch your fucking mouth. It does happen in Avatar.
It does happen in Avatar: The
Iroh
Last
does
Airbender. See, and that's why Iroh is the best character in Avatar: The Last Airbender. Ugh, he can light my cigarette anytime. I'm kidding.
Wait. It was just an episode of Genre Blind.
Well, no, it's half an episode of Genre Blind.
Half an episode.
Apparently, Tony is not audible.
Oh no!
Tyra says that Tony
I'm
is
audible.
dead.
I am now audible.
Tony is dead.
I fixed it.
Tony died.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, that super explains why that file wouldn't send over Discord.
Yeah.
Because it was 22 minutes long.
Yeah, I tried to play. You missed it because I was muted. But I tried to play the Genre Blind intro, and it was a 22-minute sound file.
Yeah.
Did not know what that was.
You ever just work at the Sound Museum?
Man, we're so good at noises. All right, we can still salvage this. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah. I'm born ready.
Good evening to only those of you who know that yesterday marked the 209th birthday of John Ray, whose legacy in knighthood was destroyed by his meddling wife, and also Charles Dickens.
Welcome to Genre Blind, a game where we break down the cliches that make pop culture noisy, soundy, museum-esque, and all of that good stuff.
Every episode, we use the random trope feature on TV Tropes to spark discussions about the media therein.
You are contractually obligated to phrase all questions or comments in the form of a compliment. This is a swearing game, and we both have degrees. We all have degrees. All four of us have degrees, and you're just gonna have to trust us on this. His name is Diggs Brown.
Their name is Lee Tominelli, and this is Genre Blind.
Yay!
Yay! Hey,
We
Lee,
did it! Yeah?
You have no video.
I have no video?
You are videoless.
You
That's awesome.
died in the hole.
That's so cool.
It's the best.
Up.
Okay, am I back now?
Welcome back.
Yay.
Sweet. We are joined right now by Nat and Tony. And both of these folks are incredible. Why don't you introduce yourselves? Starting with Nat.
Cool. Hi, I'm Nat. Happy to be here. I voice Sloan in the Sound Museum. And yeah.
Thanks. And Tony.
Hi, I'm Tony. I'm trying to add my name to the overlay because I didn't know I was playing until 3 minutes ago.
Hello.
Hey.
Let's see. All right, duplicate. We have duplicated it. I'm Tony. I'm the marketing director of Fasty Nonsense, and I had internet, and then I didn't because of a hurricane, and then it came back late last night, so now I can host the event. Hey!
Hey! Thank goodness the act of God was like, cut a little short so that you could host Genre Blind.
You know, the main thing that you need to be responsible for in your survival right now.
Yeah, very important thing.
Genre Blind takes precedence over safety, so.
As
Literally all.
Really.
Is this gonna be even more detrimental to my health than a potential hurricane?
Yes.
Could be.
Yes.
Tony, we had to take an episode where we were like, hi, we swear to God we're not going to talk about cannibalism this time. And guess what? We failed to do that for one episode.
Which means we gotta keep the ball rolling in that way. So, other than talk about cannibalism, the way that this show kind of runs is Dante hits randomize on TV Tropes. We find a cool trope to talk about, which I guess you guys all know what tropes are. Media cliches, but things
We're not explaining.
Yeah, they're tropes. Anyway, we find a trope, we chat about that trope. We give examples of the trope. We talk about our favorite media that has that trope. And then we decide who among us is the most like that trope. But for this game, we're going to be modifying that a little bit, and we're going to be deciding between Paris, Sloan, and Vinny, who is the most like that trope. Also, Tony is now canonically a character in the Sound Museum because Tony is also part of this as well. So it's Paris, Sloan, Vinny, or Tony.
And also Tony.
And also Tony.
Me in the Sound Museum as myself.
Yes.
Excellent.
You in the Sound Museum as yourself, much like Merle Highchurch sometimes like shows up in the Adventure Zone. Oh, not Merle Highchurch, sorry, Clint McElroy.
Yeah. You know how Merle Highchurch sometimes accidentally shows up on My Brother and Me? I love that.
That's crazy.
All right, I'm gonna hit this random.
Oh yes. Oh, and also before we kick this off for real, everybody, tell anybody you know if it's early in the morning, shake them by the lapels, wake them up.
Go wake your parents up like it's Christmas.
Your parents up like it's Christmas. We are so close to the funniest stretch goal you've ever heard of, even in your whole life.
You guys are so close to hearing the emails that I've sent to Lee that were responded to with no.
No. Yeah, exactly.
Stop.
Everything on the cutting room floor could be yours for only literally so less than, $2.
So little money. It's less money than my cat cost.
Yeah, right? Less money than Dante's cat. All right.
It's a good metric to use.
Yeah, more or less than Dante's cat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who's sitting pretending to look out the window, but not.
Sounds like suspicious cat behavior.
All right. Our first trope is the missus and the ex.
The missus and the ex. Okay.
I'm gonna straight up read the TV tropes because it's written in the most confusing way possible. Alice and Bob are in a relationship. Carol, who Bob chuckled anachronistically, turns up at a social event that the first two are attending. Either there'll be a fight, Bob will get cucked by Alice, or the two ladies will strike up a friendship. If the latter happens, Alice and Carol will usually bond over making fun of Bob. Either way, Bob will be highly uncomfortable.
Oh.
God, this
so
just
But
sounds like a
it's the
portal into my
interaction of the
life.
missus of the ex. It's like oh god, what's that episode of Doctor Who where Sarah Jane Smith shows up while Rose is there? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't
With
know.
Anthony Stewart Head.
Yes, I know who you're talking about, but man, I don't know the episode name.
Ma'am, I could pull it up, but I'm not going to because I'm going to try not to Google things.
So this is that's a new genre blind feature. So we are going to be okay, wait a second. Mrs. and the Ex. It's
Mrs. and the Ex.
Two people
So
come to a party.
Yeah, characters show there's a main character or someone who has a significant other and the pair runs into an ex.
Nice. Like
Or
One
it's-
Decimo.
Yeah, it's the forcible interaction between an ex and a new fling.
Like One Decimo from Fairly Odd Parents.
Yes.
That's gonna be an example of an ex. I always like it when they are friends.
Yes.
Tuca and Birdie season 3 has this. If you've seen Tuca and Birdie or any of it, they meet the exes and they all formed like a club. They love their ex. It's grand.
That's something
I'm trying to think of like every sitcom has had this like happen, and I'm so struggling to think of specific examples. But like I know in there was a lot of like cross dating in like Friends, and I remember like there's awkward situations between oh shit, it's been like 8 years since
I'm gonna
I've
tell
watched
you right
anything
now,
about
I don't know
Friends.
any of them.
I do. Give me your worst, Tony. Come on.
Tell me about
God.
these friends.
Well, because they all like just like date around and date each other and stuff, but I'm trying to remember specific examples and I'm struggling deeply.
Wait, Tony, real quick challenge. Give me an elevator pitch for Friends right now. I've seen it, so it's okay. Right now.
Dysfunctional idiots who don't know how to communicate properly live around each other and antics. That's...
Aw, that sounds like college. I love it.
It's basically a bunch of adult college kids who don't know how to communicate properly. It's great.
That's one of the better pitches for Friends I've ever heard.
I agree.
I could have been meaner, but A lot of
The
that humor
Mrs.
has not aged well, as you'd imagine from a 90s sitcom.
The Mrs. and the X is the entire premise of the show Angel, which came out after Buffy, because it's a old fling Angel and then like current fling Spike now having to, or I guess they're both her exes at that point, both Buffy's exes, and it's just them doing a show together. It's great, fantastically homoerotic.
Oh, God.
Now, am I not allowed to Google things? Or is it just Dante?
no.
Is that a self-proposed challenge?
I was just trying not to Google that particular thing. I also did remember it's called School Reunion, but listen.
There we go. There we go. I was gonna say.
Keyboard.
I was gonna say the gamer keyboard. What are some other? Oh, I gotta think of like another example. There's gotta be more, right? Right.
I know all the ones I'm thinking of are like adjacent to that. Like they're the same
adjacent.
vibe, but
Yeah,
I was just watching a Star Trek episode where the I don't know if you guys know Star Trek at all, but like Captain Picard, he has this like will they won't they with Dr. Crusher, and like they all like always have breakfast together, and then this girl that he like had a thing with like on vacation shows up on the ship, and they're like they spent the night together, and Dr. Crusher like walks in the next morning to like have breakfast with them, and they're looking at each other like, hi, and then Dr. Crusher's like, would you like a tour of the ship? And they just like leave, and he's so uncomfortable, and it's
Do
great.
they end up being friends, or do they end up not liking each other?
We never see them interact again. Well, yeah, no, we don't. I'm assuming they actually get along, but
Damn.
it's hard to say.
Like the will they won't they that that Picard has with Q.
It's actually very similar to that.
No way. That's rad.
I have found the friends examples, and it's Ross's girlfriend Emily becomes friends with his ex-wife Susan. He assumes that the interest is sexual because it's what happened last time, and is horrified. That's right. Friends has
Horrified by gayness. Me too.
Speaking of horrified by gayness, the concept of Jim Moriarty is the Mrs. and the X.
Listen, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Not to talk about Sherlock Holmes this early in the morning, but
Almost talk about Sherlock Holmes this early in the morning. No, but it's true, because every time he comes along, he's just like, he's flirting at Sherlock, and he's just like, is John gonna be upset about that?
Yeah.
And then it's always that sort of
it'll
thing.
be also the direct flirt, and then the look to fuck me up, fam.
I also feel like adjacent has to be Steed and Calico Jack meeting.
Come on, that's exactly what this is. We got one. We got one. That is so Mrs. and the X.
Yeah.
Man, so true.
Very that. Also, I feel like Izzy feels like he's living through Mrs. and the X.
That's true. I mean, 100%. Except that like they're still married.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
There's no
Mrs. and the Next.
Woof. Oh my god. Ugh.
Got him.
That's
Fucking
so
got
true.
him.
It's so true. So amongst I can't believe, Nat, you really came in clutch with the best example. After being like, I'm not so sure if I know any of it. Literally all. Yes.
That's exactly it.
It comes from the fact that I only think about our flag being death.
Literally same.
Nothing else.
Also, I need you to know, just like as a side note, the reason why Paris literally cannot go to space is because they'll know that I ripped a lot of Paris's whole deal off of Star Trek. And Star Trek works. Anyway, so who amongst us is Mrs. and the X? And by amongst us, I mean
Our characters.
Among Us.
I vote myself because my current girlfriend and my ex-girlfriends are literally friends.
that's gorgeous.
No,
Hell
that's
yeah.
I vote The Believer.
The Believer. Oh, that's true. That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very Mrs. and the X. Although Sloane and Des haven't met yet.
Not
Fascinating.
yet. So maybe for show, just Paris generally. I feel like they just keep interacting with people that are like hey, what's up? And then they just have to come home and be like, hey, what's up, Sloan? No, nobody flirted with me today.
No one.
Just kidding, everyone did. I'm going to now reenact it for you.
And for last, someone flirted with Paris in the workplace. 0.
Zay's 0.
Oh
And
my
so
God.
it's also Tony. Turns out Tony is Paris. Secretly.
Turns out Tony is the ex.
Tony is the ex.
I'm
Oh my
I'm friends with
God.
anyone, whether you want to be friends with me or not. So
That's so true, man.
Yeah.
we're friends until you
Alrighty.
prove otherwise. That's my motto.
All right, smash that randomized
I
button.
thought you were saying smash your.
Smash or pass.
It's more like
next-
smash that fucking like and pledge to the Super Suits crowdfunding campaign.
Yes, in
Well,
between.
I would
everybody
prefer
take a
you
breath.
did. I would prefer you did the Sound Museum and not Super Suits, but that's just me.
Did I say Super Suits?
Sure did, but
Sorry. It's been
turns
like
out
6
the-
months. I need to
Turn-
move on.
Turns out the X is Super Suits, and we're the Sound Museum is the new fling. So it is Tony. We just met Tony's ex, which was Super Suits, except
Wow.
it's still very real.
wow.
What is it?
Next?
You know that fucking meme that goes around where it's friendship ended with blank, ex's
Yeah.
new best friend. Yeah, that just happened.
It doesn't have to be like this. Tony has 2 hands. The meme I made where it says it doesn't have to be like this. John Werner Vogel, and then it's just Werner Vogel and drug addiction. Sherlock
Jesus
Holmes.
Christ.
Speaking of which, speaking of Sherlock Holmes' great substance abuse, the next trope is not so above it all.
Not so above it all.
Not
So
above it all.
not so above it all is like your straight man or your holier than thou character kind of like joins in on the goofiness of like what's happening. So usually like observing from on high, and then the wackiness or like weirdness hits a point, and then they just like go full tilt into it. Yeah,
Oh.
and they turn.
Oh god.
Right,
Okay.
right off the bat, the first thing that I thought of, and I don't know why, the first thing that I thought of was, that the very gratifying scene in Gravity Falls where Grunkle Stan finally like acknowledges that weird things are real with the zombies, and they're like, so you believe us? He's like, obviously I believe you. I
Yeah.
live here. I've been here this whole time. So he was like this very like, oh, he can't know or he doesn't believe, and then all of a sudden he's there.
God, absolutely that.
I feel like Benson from regular show also got involved with a lot of
yeah.
antics, and he's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
he's the loose cannon.
Yeah. He's always like the authority figure, and then every once in a while.
I was gonna
gets
ask a weird
involved.
question about Benson in particular, but it's probably not appropriate for the stream, so I'm gonna hold off on that.
Well now you have to.
Sorry, Sam Rocker Claus.
Okay, so Benson's gumball flap. Anatomically, what is that? Very weird.
Benson's gumball flap.
Orifice.
Like the cloaca of the gumball machine.
Is it
I
his
would
cloaca?
say.
Is that what we're gonna end on?
Almost certainly it's probably a cloaca.
Okay.
I'm gonna say.
We are.
Most things are.
Most things are a cloaca. I just don't think that's true, Dante.
It can be if you make it
Can
one.
you prove that it's not true?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah, Tony.
I don't think I have a cloaca, but I haven't laid any eggs yet, so.
Tony, I think that you would need to give us an example of everything living on Earth to prove that most things don't have a cloaca. I don't know where that Bononkers assertion came from, but I am certain that
That
a
has the
gumball
same
machine-
energy as like, oh, you're a feminist. Name every woman.
Yeah, name every
Exactly,
woman.
exactly.
And then you say,
Margaret Thatcher.
isn't it? What is it? I'm every woman. Is that what Whitney Houston?
Yeah,
Wait.
maybe.
So there
Except
you there it is.
Margaret Thatcher is every woman.
Margaret Thatcher. I feel like there's a lot of shows where this is like presented and then like immediately subverted, and then it becomes like the other way around. So like in Soul Eater, you're presented like, the Death Weapon Meister Academy, which is presided over by Lord Death. And then the second you meet him, he's like, I'm the weirdest man you've ever met.
Yeah, that's
and then
so true.
He's like that forever, except in moments where he's like, actually, now I'm dead fucking serious.
Yeah. That is very quickly threaded. Also from that show is the idea of like Stein being the most powerful person and then like his slow descent into loopyhood in season 2.
Yeah, absolutely. His whole deal is this too.
Yeah,
He'll gets the watch the whole thing go down, do the the glasses move, and then just like on this like it's great.
Yeah.
What a man.
What a the character ever.
Good Bathos.
He won we did a sexy scientist bracket, and Stein did sweep the floor with it.
As he should. I wrote Soul Leader fanfiction in 9th grade for my high school applications, and no one ever knew what it was.
This is stunning.
But I knew, and everyone was like, "That was so good," and I was like, "Yeah."
No way!
Yeah.
You're a legend. What was the prompt?
I don't remember. It was like a creative writing thing, and I was like, we're gonna write fan fiction of Stein and Spirit being gay for each other,
Superb.
and that's what it was. Yeah.
Stunning and superb.
9th grade now was another breed.
One of the only straight ships I'll get behind is Stein and Medusa, and that's just because it's just toxic enough.
So one example I really like that I didn't think of is they mentioned so in Captain Marvel, Nick Fury like is normally extremely stoic and stuff in the MCU, right? But he sees a cat and he kind of like oh, cat, and starts cooing and petting it and stuff. I didn't think about that side of this trip too, of like
it's true.
Sebastian Michaelis and his cat.
Yeah, I mean, nothing brings a character's humanity out rather than interacting with an animal.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think of examples where I've seen that I love.
Anytime like a very imposing character, like I always love the mentor characters and like the higher than everybody else characters, and I love what we do with them, you know? Mm-hmm. I think it tells a lot about the way we see our teachers and mentors and, figures of authority.
I couldn't like pull a moment, but I feel like this happens a lot with like Giles and Buffy. Like I feel like there's many moments, like when they go see him, like he's just like wearing an earring and playing music in a cafe, and they're just like,
yeah,
excuse me,
yeah,
what the,
like seeing your teacher out of school.
Yeah, it's weird.
I feel like we see characters gradually change too. Like Castiel in Supernatural goes from like extremely serious to he's just a really goofy fucker. And, but that's not like a specific example.
For the pizza man.
Yeah.
No, but that also is totally Castiel. I mean, especially at the beginning of when you see him to even the end of the season, every once in a while he like dips down, and those are the most gratifying moments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or like okay, so like when he loses his when he stops becoming an angel and he basically just becomes a human. Yeah, he loses his grace. He kind of just becomes like a nearly homeless bum and works. Doesn't he like work at a like coffee shop or something?
He works at like a gas station for a while.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm really important now. I have a job.
Yeah.
Man. Ugh.
I don't have time for this team.
Don't ask stupid questions.
Don't ask stupid questions.
Oh, Eric says Obi-Wan definitely has an on high, but then will straight up jump through a glass window. An on high vibe, yeah.
Fact.
I love Obi-Wan. That.
Man,
Ewan McGregor is single-handedly is the saving grace of the prequels.
Hello there.
The saving grace of the prequels is the entirety of the prequels because they're the best trilogy ever made.
Once you stop looking at it as serious media, and if you watch
Which
it
Star
as
Wars has never been.
Agreed. But if you watch this prequels as a shitty like soap opera, it's the best. It's like a comedic soap opera. I love it.
Yeah, big facts.
In general, media is so much better if you view it as a comedy. My Star Trek Deep Space Nine, which was going to be my next example because everything's about Star Trek.
Yes.
So it's like the darkest Star Trek, but it's also a sitcom. Or it reads like a sitcom, and it's great. There's an episode where they're like the whole crew of the station is planning a heist to save a hologram who is their friend, but he's a hologram, like he's super not a person, and they keep trying to get Captain Sisko to like join the heist, but he is not about the whole like holographic program set in the 1950s. Like he's not about it. And they're like, oh, but we need another person. And then the door in the holo program just opens and he's there and he's like, we're doing a heist.
Yes, yes. Oh my God.
Oh, it's so good.
Is the hologram like the Data Spock like person of that season?
Mm-hmm. No, he's this character who gets introduced like at the end of the second to last season, and he's just a sentient hologram who the unique thing about him is that he knows he's a hologram, and so his whole program is he's like a 1950s like lounge singer.
Nice.
But he also is just like very aware that he's a hologram, and it's delightful.
Yes.
It's so
yes.
good. Also, Eric, big facts. You go through the entirety of Good Omens with like Aziraphale, like proper holy union now, and then we get like the first like, fuck. It's great, especially in the book. Oh God, it's so good.
Oh, it's so true. Man,
Especially like next to like Bendy Zany Crowley the entire time, and then you just get Aziraphale of like, what if I did the weirdest thing possible to stalk a child and then tell no one? Anyway.
Man, that is so true. Aziraphale is an excellent example of this. Angels are good examples of this. Angels, captains, teachers.
Angels.
Man.
Well, because I guess those naturally, like, that's kind of a natural character arc because they're at these position of very, like, serious authority, right? And then there are going to be chances where they're like, I just want to be a normal person. So it makes sense that a lot of characters in that position have these tropes.
Yeah.
Angels, bosses, museums.
Wow. Yeah. Speaking of
I
which,
was gonna say.
among all of us, it's obviously Sloan.
Sloan.
Clearly Sloan. I like one of the most important things about Sloan is that they're just like very into puns and wordplay and is this like terrifying entity of authority, and then is just like higgledy-piggledy occasionally.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Lee and I have had some very long conversations in the last couple of weeks about Sloan. Every day I'm like, I have questions about Sloan lore, and I'm like in rehearsal, and I suddenly Lee gets like a wall of text from me, and it's
Every
great.
single day at around 5:30 when I get off of work, I like check my phone. I'm like, is there Sloan questions? I want to answer Sloan questions today. It's the best.
Nat, I need to send you the cut Thomas Edison conversation. It was cut. No one else will see it unless we get $235.
I know.
Nat can see it.
That's the thing.
I need to.
We got to send out all of the cut for time things. So again, grab a person who you know is rich, shake them by the lapels. We've still got two characters to name, Two characters to name,
Well,
one
there's
character
only
to name.
one slot left, right?
One slot, and my brother said whoever the person is.
Gotcha.
But, so two characters in theory to name, one slot. In theory. But we gotta send out that cut for time stuff, because man, there's a lot of cut for time
There's so
stuff.
much.
There's so much.
Oh my God.
We weren't allowed to use a Thomas Edison thing for a thing because Thomas Edison might not exist in this universe. Who's to say?
But he is the king of patents.
But he is the king of patents.
Who would put a hat on a dolphin? Me, Douglas Adams.
Douglas Adams, king of New York.
Not.
All right. Not Thomas Edison. All right, what's next?
I'm gonna hit shuffle. Well, I see where this is going. So this next trope is, of course, too kinky to torture.
Well, too kinky to torture.
Now, I need it known that this trope came of me like hitting random, like following links from the Our Flag Means Death page.
Okay, well, I was gonna say.
Yeah, this was not my doing. This is Izzy Hands' doing. So
I was gonna say, is he hands?
And we've made it to cannibalism, baby!
Oh man.
Full circle.
Oh my God. That is so true. I did not even think about Izzy Hands, but you're so true. This is so spot on.
He is the main example.
Sometimes you just.
I don't mean to alarm. We're gonna do something fun near the end of the stream, and it's that I just updated my pledge to name the last character. Because I want to name the last character, so we can do that at the end of the stream once this is all done. We can group think a fun name.
Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
no.
Which means we are only $135 away.
Only
From the final stretch goal.
$135.
Maybe I can make my new roommate pledge. She just moved in on Tuesday.
Hazing.
I think I woke her up doing this. So
Come on,
Wow.
if your new roommate is cool.
Yeah. Bring your new roommate in here. Go
bring
get
your
him.
roommate in.
Natasha.
Natasha,
No,
are
I've
you
spoken
cool?
like 2 words to her.
Man.
Hey, nice to meet you. Give me $135 right now.
Exactly.
That's one tome. We just need one person to buy a tome.
We need one tome.
Y'all, I'm about to make a book that is so challenging.
Oh, yes.
So related to this trope, I actually just saw a Johnny Bravo clip that actually perfectly fits this. And Johnny is sitting on a couch, and this lady presses a button. You know, she's in like this really sexy dress, and she has one pointy boob and one curved boob because I guess that's how they show side boob in 90s cartoons.
Of course.
Of course.
And she presses a button, and the couch flips into a table that then locks in his limbs. And he goes, "Mama told me about you, and I was hoping she was right, or told me about women like you." Because
God bless.
So weirdly fitting that we found this trope when I saw this clip yesterday.
Johnny Bravo. James
Bravo.
Bond also does a similar thing where he's just like,
Absolutely,
this is
James
not my
Bond.
first rodeo. And I'm like, isn't it?
And he means it.
You think this is the
means
first
it.
time I've been hog-tied naked with branding? Yeah, I don't think so.
Right?
I was gonna say, what's his fucking Little Shop of Horrors? The guy who
Oh
goes
my
to the
God.
dentist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seriously. The Angel Dust from
Angel Dust.
Has
Been Hotel.
Been Hotel.
On that one.
Who
God.
else?
I feel like I could list like every, like if I were to make like a to use the kids' term, a Blorbo list. I feel like it would just be majority of them.
Yes.
of characters I either think about or cosplay. They're all here.
Every single Blorbo on the list.
All of my
Wait, I'm
Blorbos.
sorry. I do actually need to know exactly. I want a definition of Blorbo. I want, like, for Webster and for me.
Okay, it's yeah,
I was gonna say,
you do
Nat,
it.
you
Yeah.
give me a definition of Blorbo.
Okay.
Nat.
My definition of Blorbo is the character who just sort of sits in like a folding chair in your brain, and just kind of like crosses their hands like this and sits there and doesn't let you think about other things.
I was gonna say the little guy that lives in your mind.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Wait, so are you telling me?
Blorbo usually paired with from my show. So
Yeah,
the Blorbo from my show.
Blorbo from my shows.
From my
Yeah,
show.
So you're
I have
right.
I have a piece of artwork that my friend made me for Christmas of 6 of my Blorbos, like my main Blorbos at the time of drawing it, and it's hanging on my wall. Hold on.
Oh my god.
So here's a great definition: is in.
Wait, let me see him.
Oh, hello, friends.
Oh, hello, friends.
These are
So
some good
these were
Blorbos
at the
to
time.
pick.
These were the 6 Blorbos.
Yes, those are good.
I think that I'm gonna say something very controversial on this show, as I never do. I
Nice.
think the concept of a Blorbo is embodied in Lord Henry Wotton,
Wow, disgusting. I don't want to talk to you anymore.
but you will.
No, I really do. I do like Lord Henry from.
I think he
Picture of
just
Dorian
is that to everyone he interacts with.
That's true.
He just
That's very
sits and
true.
lives rent free in everybody's mind forever, and they don't necessarily like him, but they will always be fond of him. And he just
So fair.
he's-
Okay.
he's got Nat's folding chair
Yeah.
in your
Okay.
mind
Wow.
with a little yellow book.
The folding chair is very important to this idea because you can hear it like creak. You can hear it squeak.
All Blorbos will be put in a Hawaiian shirt.
Every Blorbo in a Hawaiian shirt.
Just
Damn.
Lord Henry Wotton.
Yo, Tony, you got a Blorbo?
Yeah, tell us about your Blorbos.
Sorry, I was tweeting I was doing social media at the same time.
Oh, damn it, Tony!
Can you explain a Blorbo again, and I will give you a Blorbo.
No.
Is Blorbo
No.
different than Plumbo, Kai's secret character in the super suits that they
Unless Plumbo is your Blorbo, in which case
Yeah.
nobody who's not on the internet will understand what we're saying.
without context of what a Blorbo is, Plumbo is my Blorbo. Yes.
Perfect.
Wow, these words just are really hurting my brain
None of
right
these
now.
My
words
Blorbo
are
is really poggers.
My Blorbo is Plumbo, who is very swag and also very poggers. Kai, eat your heart out.
Wow, this is the descent of thought.
Hey,
the
Greg, that's
deterioration.
fantastic.
What did Greg say?
None of
Blorbo-in-law.
these words are in the Bible.
Blorbo-in-law of the whole like, I don't know this man, but I'm familiar with his homosexuality from my mutuals dashboards.
Jeez.
Yeah.
My favorite related concept is Blorbo-in-law. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This
You get other people's Blorbos.
Oh, I forgot to actually update the fucking things we're talking about. 1 second. What was it?
Wow, it's just like the show notes for TV Tropes.
What was the first one? Not So Above It All?
Mrs. and the X, Not So Above It All, and then Too Kinky to Torture.
Wait, is that the trope we're on? Because I forgot.
Yeah,
I
we're on
plumb
Too
forgot.
Kinky to Torture.
I plumb
How dare
forgot.
you? Eric made a great point earlier about this being the master. Thank you, Eric. I'm going back to that comment from a while back.
Amazing. Too
From
kinky to
Doctor Who.
torture
From
the
Doctor Who,
master.
yeah.
Yes.
Obviously. Yes.
Who else?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
No.
I was gonna say the. Wait, I'm so sorry. I'm still
Rin-
on Blorbo real quick.
Rin says Hannibal and Will are my Blorbo-in-laws for real. Yeah.
Wow. That's
They're
so
not even
fair.
in law for me.
Wow.
They just live in my house.
I was gonna say
They live in my Discord.
Hannibal's definitely probably a So
Who's
okay,
shocked?
so what's the meow meow then? So there's Blorbo,
Meow- okay, a
meow
meow
meow,
meow is different.
Plumbo's not a Blorbo, but he might be a meow meow.
Blorbo.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
a meow.
But-
A meow meow is like a despicable
pathetic
little guy.
character.
Pathetic little character who they must have done crime, and you are not excusing them of crime. They're just also a wet cat.
Okay,
Herbert West is a meow meow and also my Blorbo.
Yeah. Izzy Hands is a meow meow. And my
Mhm.
Blorbo.
Would Jesse from Breaking Bad be a meow meow? Because he's quite harmless in the beginning.
No, they gotta be like a problem.
so then what's a
Oh.
whump? Is it wump is a
You're just making stuff up. These
Ooh.
aren't real things. You're just making shit up on the spot. I'm convinced
Okay.
of it.
I don't
Meow
know.
meow and a womp and a
means-
Blorbo? What the
this
fuck are we
means that-
talking about?
I know what's
Based
going
on Nat's
on.
reaction, I'm starting a new chat, and it's only Nat and I, and we're only talking about Wump, and Lee is not invited to it. It's just gonna be us talking about episode 8.
You know,
Yes,
words,
exactly. Episode 8 is one.
words,
It is.
words mean things. You know, words mean things.
Wump is what we do to Sherlock Holmes,
Okay.
and what the Joker does to Jason Todd,
Okay.
and what I do to everything I love,
Okay.
and what
So-
I wish that GLaDOS would do to anyway.
Unnecessary angst.
Unnecessary angst. Okay, so currently, class, if you're listening in, we've got Wump, Blurbo, and Meow Meow.
And
Anything else I'm
Plumbo.
missing? And Plumbo.
What else?
Who is the Blorbo-in-law of the Wump?
Who wants to talk about the evolution of the word kin right now?
Right.
Evolution of the word kin, like
It
family.
used to mean one thing, and now it means something else, and everything's all woo.
Oh no, I'm sorry. You're right. This is when everything got woo. When the kid, not back at the Blurbo Plumbo, Wump
Now-
and Meow Meow.
I mean, these are all words that make sense, and
Yeah.
if everyone stayed, of course, up to date on their internet lingo, this wouldn't be confusing.
I'm learning. This is why I need good friends.
So I just need to browse fucking what the fuck is that?
Tumblr.com.
No, the knowyourmeme.com. Just browse knowyourmeme.
I don't
Nah,
think
man.
it'll help you.
This is a
No, it
deep
never
embedded
does.
This is-
osmosis.
This just kind of like you have to just accept it into your
It's like being fluent in a language by like growing up with it.
Mhm.
Yes,
Gotcha.
yeah. I'm trying to learn it, but like, I'm like how you say "Hola, cómo estás" when you're like 35 when you're trying to learn Spanish. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So who here is too geeky to
Like
to torture
personally or on the sound museum?
in the Sound Museum? I know
I-
who your answer is, Dante.
My answer is Vinny.
I was gonna say Vinny too.
Vinny. Yeah. Yeah, Vinny's too kinky to torture.
Yeah.
Man. Damn.
It's
God
got interests and proclivities, and that's what I have to say about that.
Jesus Christ. Man.
Tony, do you have a way in?
No, Vinny. From what I know of the Sound Museum, Vinny seems to be the pick.
Yeah. That's very fair.
Canonically.
Though I do have a feeling Tim's character would also be into some weird shit, but maybe
How
not.
do you...
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, totally. No, you are so right. Absolutely. Wait, sorry. Say that one more time slowly. I was reading a comment. It just lodged my brain.
Tim's character, not the scientist, the
That's hilarious. And yeah, sure. I agree now. That is canon.
only because it seems a little fun.
Nah, man, the dreamer's unhinged enough to be too kinky to torture. It's canon now.
Okay.
This is what happens when you say things. They
Good.
become super mega canon.
I can't wait to get to that episode and reap the consequences of my own actions.
I was gonna.
Reaping what I sow.
I can't wait to take the dreamer and bring him to an elementary school recorder concert and prove you wrong.
So it was just said, how do you kinky torture a moldy brain?
Just
Stay
keep
tuned.
listening.
I was gonna say, you just keep listening because you'd be surprised what can happen in the Sound Museum. All right, what's next?
Okay, the next one is good is not soft.
Not soft.
Do not mistake weakness for kindness. So this isn't like anti-hero or vigilante or anything like that. And it's it kind of like overlaps sometimes with good is not nice, but not necessarily. So this person could be like friendly, great, caring, loving, whatever, but they are no holds barred, no mercy when it comes down to it. Yeah.
Good
So Batman is like an example of this, of like
Oh.
kind, good person.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess there is one hold barred and it's murder, but like, he's not
Right.
gonna. Yeah.
Right. Cool.
Sorry,
mean-
the Batman.
The Batman. Well,
The Batman.
Superman would be upon that in that kind of trope too, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Yes, I think so. I feel like most superheroes kind of go under the.
Yeah.
Although, like with Batman being the more defining, like he's willing to be like gratuitous with it, or like your. I guess Deadpool is not this because he's also not nice
Good.
or good. He's
extremely chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
Goku, I think of Goku sometimes, but Goku doesn't really do a lot of good out of his heart. He just kind of... He is
protagonist?
extremely selfish because he just wants to fight strong people.
Right.
But
right.
he does protect. It does... Fighting does come from a place of good, but it is selfish, so maybe that's not quite correct either.
Is he like, does he take down baddies, or is it like just anybody who will fight him?
Anyone who will fight him. He
Okay.
always wants a challenge. His problems are caused in Dragon Ball Z because Goku will let like bad guys go back to like full health essentially, just so he can fight him again. Like giving Cell a sensu bean. It's like, you are so fucking dumb, which basically put the big bad back at like full power plus some. So.
Yeah. That's such a good character.
flaw to be like,
Goku
no.
is my favorite shitty protagonist in all of anime.
That happens with a lot of Knights of the Round Table. There's this one story with Lancelot where this woman comes up to him and she's like, please, I need you to like defeat this guy like who's been terrorizing me and my family. Can you do that? And he's like, oh, of course. And so he fights this dude and like beats him in a fight. And then it's like, all right, the honorable thing is that like now you just like go to Arthur and like whatever. And the lady's like, no, if you let him go, he's gonna come back and terrorize my family, cut his head off. And Lancelot's like, well, I can't not do what a lady tells me, but the honor, I have to let him go back to Arthur. So he's like, all right, here's your sword back, stand back up, we're gonna fight one more time, and if I win, I'm cutting your head off, and if I lose, well, you can cut my head off. And then he just fucking slices his head off. It's amazing. Great.
Man.
The doctor.
Oh, yeah. Good is not soft.
Yeah. Pretty explicitly.
Yeah.
That's
Also,
tough.
the not to again BBC Sherlock it, but not the side of the angels or whatever the hell mean people.
Ba-ba-da-ba-ba.
Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Not
the
canon Sherlock
BBC.
Holmes. The BBC.
Jack Harkness.
I was good.
He's not good or nice or soft. He's always hard.
Whoa.
Well, shame on you and your family.
And too kinky to torture. Sorry,
And-
that's all Jack Harkness.
Oh, we got a 2-for-1 special. Very nice.
And he has a Mrs. and the X in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Sure.
And above it all, or not so above it all, also that. Everything is Jack Harkness.
And he's your Blorbo.
He was my Blorbo. He's not my current Blorbo though. He
But
doesn't live in my mind right now.
Does he whump? Does he get whumped? Is he whump?
He is designed to be whumped.
He's designed to be.
He's designed to be a whumpy.
Ah, right. Okay. Trying to think of people who are good but bad.
Good but bad.
Good but
Good
bad.
but also bad. So you ever have a character who's good but then also bad but then
That's
also
wild.
good and also bad?
Wow, your writer brain is really just blowing my mind right now, Lee.
I was gonna say,
Holy
so
shit.
I've got this concept. Okay, everybody come with me on this concept. So there's you got a character, right? Good character, nice good character, but also bad.
Whoa.
I have a controversial suggestion.
Okay.
Lay
The
it on me.
Pines twins. Pines twins actually, you know what? Either set. I was about to say the younger, but honestly, either set.
I was going to say the older originally.
Both. Every Pines twin.
Every Pines twin.
Because
Man.
I feel like it looking at like Mabel, for example, she's like the pretty much like always like the assumed like nice, good, whatever. But she is very explicitly not soft, both in just like casual ways of like, oh, she'll use her grappling hook and fight gnomes and whatever, but also in that she can be very, very like selfish and act out and hurt people around her.
Yeah.
In a way that's not. And Dipper as well is like he has a very short fuse with things where he's like, he's nice, he's good, he's on the side of the angels, but then it's the second something is not right, he's like, well, actually.
Yeah. That's, I mean, also with the elder Pine twins, like, I mean, Grunkle Stan is a charlatan, and Ford is mean. So it's, I mean, in the best way.
Yeah.
Or not mean, but like,
Love them dearly,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Aziraphale again. Yeah, Aziraphale and Crowley. That's gonna be a good one.
Aziraphale is a great example of this.
Yeah.
I think-
Aziraphale rocks.
So, I mean, we did say that most superheroes fall under this, but I think, like, a pretty shiny example would be, like, Captain America, who will 100% put his foot down and fight for it if it's in his lawful good. He's lawful good, but for his own, it becomes his own code. Like in Civil War, right? And he will fight really hard for that, and you do not want to be on the bad side of Captain America, because he's fucking stupid strong.
Yeah.
That happens a lot in the comics too, where he'll just turn his back on like whatever the rule of law is and just be like, LMAO, that's not right, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, his lawful good is a personal law, which makes him interesting. I think a more interesting character.
My favorite like extension of this trope, or like not extension of this trope, but like adjacently connected of this trope is the really, really good morals are not always correct or appropriate. My favorite example always being Rorschach from fucking Watchmen, being just like, I'll kill a criminal if he steals petty crime. You know what I mean? Like he's just very like not a good person and nobody likes him, and but he has this like very strict moral code. So like moral codes don't always mean that you are a good person either.
Yeah, I really like
when
that.
They become too rigid.
Oh, Greg will know this. In Final Fantasy IX, this guy, Steiner, is a knight of the kingdom, and he is totally turning a blind eye. Like, my kingdom and my queen would never do anything wrong. And then you find out that absolutely the kingdom is committing mass atrocities, and he goes through this whole, like, character arc of, like, I need to update my moral code to be more about not what people say is good, but what I think is good. And I really like that. Which is different than Rorschach, but yes.
No, but yeah. I'm trying to think.
There's a with like in line with that. There's this musical. It's a series of musicals of which the third was never made, called The Devil's Carnival. And the second one, Alleluia, The Devil's Carnival, takes place in heaven, and it's fully a fascist state, like down to the SS uniforms, and it's a really, really cool like take on like the you've made it. Welcome to the power structure.
Yeah.
There was supposed to be a third Pyro, and then they never got funding for it. Terrence didn't get it made. But now he makes music about the Donner Party, and his next album is going to be about H.H. Holmes, so it's okay.
I feel like Star Trek is also riddled with this kind of thing. I mean, every captain that exists is good but not soft.
Yeah, there's plenty of examples in Star Trek. I feel like there's a couple of Undertale characters I could peg this on to.
Who?
Asgore. Who's very much like he's interesting because he's one of those who you hear a lot about him and you're like, oh, he's the king, he's blah blah blah, but everyone says he's so nice, and he is so nice, but he's also murdering children and has been for years for the greater good. But
he's doing it out of love.
Yeah, but he's murdering children and decides it's fine. So, and sort of adjacent to that would be Sans too, who is just throughout the whole thing is whatever, and then you do the genocide route and he's goes off the rails.
Sans is the final battle of the genocide route, right?
Yeah. And he's like a completely different person, and it's great.
Not to talk about Harry Potter on main, but I feel like Dumbledore is also a pretty good example of this.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of like big figure mentor, but not in just like to the protagonist, but like headmaster style mentors fall under this category. Like this is a weird pull, but I'm pretty sure this happens in like My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, where it's like like my Celestia, whatever, like they use her name and things, and then like didn't she do like war crimes or something?
Who hasn't?
Who among us?
Who among us hasn't done a war crime?
Did you say Among Us?
Speaking of this trope, Among Us, the imposter. No, I actually don't.
If someone in the Sound Museum was going to be the imposter, who would it be?
Who would it be?
An example from
Tony.
From Among Us was me.
No, you're the imposter.
Oh, I'm
the
the
imposter in the
I was like,
Museum.
I am neither good nor soft, so it's not me. Okay, I'm
Evil
soft.
and hard.
Almost every Dante.
We're married, please.
True.
I feel like almost every Disney character, I feel like children's cartoons will do this all the time. Like almost every Disney character will be like the I am not as like soft as you think I am. It's one of the big things. One of my favorite things is Ashitaka from Princess Mononoke, who just needs to like see with eyes unclouded and is generally a good person, but will also just gut people because in the name of good. But like Mulan, fucking most people from Encanto, which are just the Esmeralda from Hunchback of Notre Dame, like literally
Mr. Incredible.
Mr. Incredible.
Absolutely throw down.
Because it's this cool thing of really like goodness does mean incredible strength too. It's that who has that quote that's the good is always more interesting than evil because there are a million ways to be good, but evil you'll always expect it to do the bad thing. Is it Toni Morrison?
I don't remember.
Something like that. But yeah, I feel like
Rin absolutely is this most final girls. This is Sydney Prescott to a T. I feel like there's other final girls that kind of like slip through the cracks on this one, like especially in like I Know What You Did Last Summer and a lot of like the Friday the 13th and stuff like that. But when you talk about like Sydney Prescott of like in the first one, it's go through this whole thing, good, and then it's just make sure one more time through the forehead, and then is like that through every movie. Same with Laurie Strode in Halloween. Because she is less so in the first one, but then like as the movies progress, it's just like, I will do it, Michael. Jesus fucking Christ. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Shiloh Wallace.
Shiloh is gonna be good. Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
Man.
Shiloh.
So who from the Sound Museum? Kian de the Sound Museum. Gonna say probably Sloane.
Probably Sloane.
Yes.
I was gonna say Paris.
You were gonna say Paris?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm such a fan of this. I'm such a fan of this trope. I love writing villains and antagonists to be really, really kind, and heroes and protagonists to be like a little bit more morally dubious in the moment. So I feel like you could plug this in for most folks in the Sound Museum.
Most of them. I feel like Sloane doesn't come off as like the expected to be nice character. I feel like that edge is a little more towards the surface, whereas Paris is portrayed with that level, and then just a little under is like.
Yeah. Especially later, especially with the collector.
I was gonna say, I feel like Sloane has like the double layer where it's like the
intimidating, nice.
Back to it, one more again.
Some atrocities maybe.
Yeah.
War crimes. We found them.
Yay!
Tax evasion.
Who among us? Activation.
Thomas Edison doesn't exist, but the IRS sure does.
The IRS. The real villain in the Sound Museum is the IRS.
Is the IRS.
But yeah, I'm just such a fan of this trope. I just love it. I literally, the other day was just like, I'm like, you need to make your villains really, really good so that somebody might accidentally do a colonialism by accident, and
what?
Maybe,
I did genocide.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If your audience is like, this person's kind of reasonable, then they have to confront that in themselves. Which is pretty cool.
Oh, could I give it an update? We have 25-ish minutes left with 125 to go. I don't know where the 10 more came from.
Hell yeah.
In the past 10 minutes or so. Maybe someone updated the pledge? I don't know.
Because they got hard.
They got hard. That's right.
They got hard.
Don't take that out of context.
No.
Take it exclusively out of context. Because the context was filthy, I would prefer you take it in a different context. I wasn't talking about the trope.
Man. Yes, let's go!
Hey!
Oh, Greg, thank you so much.
Thank you, Greg.
Yes, Rin, yes! Tell them go. Tell Rin, tell your friend that you'll tell them about it if they give you $125 right now.
This is now officially like a stick up. This is like,
a
okay,
situation.
All loved ones.
Put the money in the seed and spark now.
I'm gonna change the settings on my microphone and start doing the Bill Cipher voice if they don't give me money.
If they don't give me money.
Or if they do, whichever is their preference.
I think on this stream we need to stop playing the game and start doing like cold calls on speaker, just like calling people, give us your
Hi,
money.
Mom. I know it was your birthday yesterday, and I think I forgot to call you, but
Hey, I know
I
you're in
need
the
you to
middle
be
of a hurricane right now, and you don't have any power, but I need you.
no, the hurricane's passed. We're just underwater now. It's fine.
If one person DMs me and says, "Are you still doing the crowdfunding campaign? Can I still donate?" I'll be like, "You can give me directly money into my pocket,
Yeah.
but you won't get a reward about it." That's
You
the
won't.
thing.
Yeah.
You'll
You
actually
can
get
donate
berated.
anytime. You get berated. Well, you
Come on, get us to $3,000 because I want the special content. I want it to happen. Personally.
I want to see it happen.
I did too.
Oh.
Holy shit.
Oh,
I
man.
give it here,
Mhm.
please. I was gonna say a thing, and then I don't remember what it was. Probably about. Continue. I have to fix my skeleton.
Probably about getting. What else? What else? Yeah.
I think
Do you have more?
I think we've extracted this trope quite a bit. This was a really, really fun one though.
Yes.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
a good is not nice is an excellent one. Since it didn't get brought up, or good is not soft. I pulled this from Steed Bonnet's page. So
He was another one who I was gonna say.
LOL. I want to talk about Steed Bonnet
go.
now. Well, I mean, I want to talk
He's
about
so
Steed Bonnet.
bitchy, and I love him.
I fucking wait. I think he's a bad person. I think he's
He
like
is.
a
He's
great.
a horrible person.
I love it when Sunny characters are bad people secretly. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's the whole like concept of the lighthouse because, you know, you can't get too close to the Sunny bright characters except for you're gonna smash up on the rocks, but everybody
I need
like
to
orbits.
see it. I need to see the lighthouse.
You need to.
The
Man,
Lighthouse is a good movie.
oh, you gotta see that too.
Now, speaking of not getting close to a lighthouse, I'd like to get close to that lighthouse because it seems like it sucks.
It
so
seems
bad.
like a terrible lighthouse.
I only
in
have
black and
seen
white.
the mermaid scene, and I'm like, I need to watch this fucking movie so badly.
It's a
Same
good
scene.
film.
Oh man, I used to before every show quote the prayer with Jake Inman. We would just like do our best ding dang voice, and we'd be like, yeah. Before every show, we would just quote the lighthouse at each other.
Was this for airline?
Yeah, this was literally for airline. We would whisper into each other's ears, and we'd be like, "Swope dog," like just on stage. That was all that we ever did. And it was just back and forth. Anytime we had to ad lib, it was only lighthouse quotes.
I'm learning so
Why
much.
just spill your beans, Tommy? Speaking of spilling beans,
What a film.
what a film!
What a film it is.
Yeah, speaking of Brits,
Beans.
beans.
Speaking of beans, British people.
British.
Kai, where are you, Kai?
Hi.
Kai, where are you,
This
Kai?
is a convenient time, Kai.
It's a convenient time, Kai. Kai is marching in the thing.
Oh, that's right. Kai is doing good things for
Yeah.
Wales right now.
Whatever. Good
What
thing
have
for
we ever done
Wales.
for Wales?
Like the country or
queen.
the animal?
The Queen owned all the
Better
whales
not
in
be
Wales.
the animal because that's too similar to
Dolphins.
Oh,
fucking
dolphins? Uh-oh.
dolphins.
Fucking hate them.
They're
we
not
have-
friends of the show.
Do we have one more trope to ride out this?
We
Yeah,
do.
let's do it.
The last trope I have here is action prologue. So instead of a slow lead-in, instead of your exposition, it's just, and this is not in medias res. It's not like in the middle of the action. It's you have big action scene, and then pull it right back into starting the story.
Oh, wait, whoa.
Wait,
whoa,
can you
whoa.
wait, can you repeat again?
Talk me through
No.
that.
Okay.
An action prologue is not in medias res. It's you start with a big action scene and then pull back into like starting a narrative normally. So it's like a lot of times in like a book where you have that like preface chapter where it's like he put the knife to my throat and I knew in that moment he was gonna kill me. I woke in my bed the first day of school. It's like that.
Oh, okay. I know that this happens a fuck ton in like everything. And so now I've got to
Yeah.
churn through my shitty brain to see if I can find an example. All right.
It's like
Yay.
a cold open, a teaser. It happens in one of the scripts I wrote for my master's degree. Hey guys, it happens in the pilot of In Absentia.
Very nice.
It happens at the beginning of every Supernatural question mark?
Yeah, sure does.
That's
Yeah,
very
first 5
true.
minutes.
The
Scream.
blood- Yeah.
It
It's
happens
big.
in-
Every time there's like a horror movie that you're gonna see something terrible, like in the first few minutes, they're like, this is what you're gonna see. Now it's a couple moving into a new house, you know?
Yeah, most crime dramas.
Yes!
In
Yeah. We've been
CIS.
watching a lot of SVU. So
So I meant to bring up the Wheel of Time earlier with Good is Not Soft because Moraine Damadrid is the main Aes Sedai, and she's very, very lawful good to her code. But she will absolutely, if you try to stray from what she thinks will save the world, she was like, I will burn you out of this world and all memories of you because I had magical powers. But in the Wheel of Time's opening scene, there's this big, it's in the past, and it's this big like moment that led to essentially the destruction of the world. And like the rebuilding, and then from there, like the rebuilding, and then immediately just starts off at the cozy little town where the main character trio is, and that is, oh god, the first 3 books in the Wheel of Time series of the 14, you can just read those 3, and it's like a nice, even little story. There is so much more and so many unexplained questions, but god, those 3 together are amazing. But yeah, that's my favorite action prologue.
Aw, man.
I love this a lot in TV shows where it'll like show something happening, and then it'll like something like fucking horrifying, and then it'll be like 24 hours earlier, and it's like, because I am such a proponent of, I don't believe in spoilers. I think if you can spoil a thing by knowing what happens, it wasn't good enough in the first place. You have to be like, the anticipation of getting there should, whatever. I can go and it's a whole moral philosophy I have. And writing philosophy, and so I like in a show where it shows something fucking like you see a character holding the main character's fucking corpse, and then it's like 48 hours earlier, we're going to the fair, and I'm like, yes you sure are.
Yes.
How are we gonna get there? Let's go.
I think someone else updated their pledge
To asking us for $3,000.
to sound.
Asking us
Whoa.
for asking us for the $3,000.
Oh
This is
shit!
now
We broke
officially-
3,000.
Yeah.
Whoa! What happened?
Hey, we are officially going to. Oh, an anonymous! It's an anonymous pledge from. That's. I think that we can now have every single. We can now have all of the weird stuff. Okay, just start rattling off weird stuff that happened. There was gonna be a time flower.
There was gonna be a time flower. I was gonna bring the game Polybius into it and make Paris have like an obsession with arcade games.
Oh man, that is so true.
musical episode.
Musical
Oh
episode.
my God.
Which
I want a
listen,
musical episode so fucking bad.
A composer who we talked about composing just reappeared yesterday. Was it yesterday? 2 days ago? When did Andrew text us about that?
Wait, what was it?
When we were talking about having Jordan.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
yes, Jordan.
Was that yesterday?
That was literally yesterday. Oh my God, Jordan Goldberg is this incredible like musician and composer, and one day maybe I'll commission him for for money, and get him to do a cool musical episode. Hey, can you sing? Can you both sing?
Sure.
Good, amazing. Occasionally,
I'm trying to find something real quick.
man. Trying to think. What were some of the other? We have so many memes in the meme book.
Ooh, can I share memes?
Yeah, that's literally gonna be part of it. So this is going to include Kai's weird sounds, memes that didn't make it in, cut for time, cutting room floor, all of the different things that like there was no intention of putting in the show.
Can we do a mouth sound like package?
Yeah, we're doing a mouth sound package from the guessing game too. Yes, yes.
Oh yes, the guessing game was fun.
I was gonna say, you guys can say no to this because it's immediate. I have the Thomas Edison phone call pulled up.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
Hey, Nat and Lee, if you would like to read this, let me
Hold
just
read,
cut
let's
it.
do it.
Let me just drop this in Discord
That's
real
hilarious. That's
Yes.
everything. Let's
Yes.
do it.
Amazing.
Okay,
Amazing.
I'm cutting the. It's one page. It's one
Okay.
page. Let me
Okay.
pop
Cool,
this
cool, cool, cool,
in.
cool.
Do you ever just have a problem?
Always.
Yeah.
Several
say.
times a day.
Only when it counts.
Okay, I've dropped it in Discord Gen chat. Sorry, everyone in Discord Gen.
Sorry, Discord Jen.
All right.
Oopsies. All right. Let me open this up. Okay. Wait. Let me pull this off to the side. Okay.
This is also not the right episode number anymore, or anything.
Can we act this
Okay.
out on? Is that what we're doing?
That's what we're doing.
Oh, excellent.
I was gonna say, Tony, will you read stage directions?
Yes.
Cool.
Not episode 4. The title. Phone ringing.
Ahoy, ahoy.
Phone call.
We can't start this again.
Wait, you're just going to give you're just going to give into Thomas Edison and his tyranny of hello?
Like Alexander Graham Bell deserved.
He invented.
Did he though, or did he just rifle through Alicia Gray's notes and steal her?
In a discussion about Edison, how dare you bring up stealing?
I'm not saying he wasn't a bastard, just that the patents that he held up and made the very
Berliner.
who then went on to work for Alexander Graham Bell.
This isn't over.
I should hope not, but I will savor keeping you in check until then. Anyway, I've got a weird one for you.
As opposed to...
Fair. Not weird like that. Weird like, hey, did you know we have a fax machine?
Wait, what?
Oh, I love that.
And there was a cut for time. Yay!
Thomas Edison has now been scrubbed from TSM canon.
There are no Thomas Edisons here.
So how
Thomas
did the
Edison is-
microphone exist?
Oh. This is I you know Over the Garden Wall, which
No,
real
what's
quick.
that?
What are some of the many tropes that this applies to? I don't even know. Good but not soft.
Word.
The Woodsman.
Yeah, big fan.
What's the most recent one? In media res. Nah.
Rin says friendship ended with Paris. Sloan is now new best Blorbo.
So true.
That's so true. Oh my god. Honestly, Sloane's my Blorbo.
Yeah.
Think about Sloane every
I
goddamn day.
got distracted during tech on Tuesday because I just started spacing out thinking about Sloan, and then like the director said something and I was like, what?
Paris moment.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm Paris Ken now.
I was gonna say.
When you're so dedicated to playing the role of Sloan that you accidentally start LARPing as Paris.
No thoughts, just Sloane. Just always thinking about Sloane.
I will say, now that I've had more exposure to Sloan, I'm loving. I mean, I like Sloan, of course, in the first episode, but now that I've had the episode 2 live read and have seen a bit more behind the scenes stuff, I love Sloan. Oh,
As you
so
should.
good.
As you
I
should.
love
Sorry.
Sloan.
welcome back, Lee.
I didn't.
Lee just died. We got so excited about Sloan that they left.
I didn't get to hear your cool compliment about Sloane.
Well, too bad. You'll
Sloan's
never
my-
hear it ever again.
That's fair.
And there'll be no record of this.
Yeah.
There will be no record
It has
of
been
this.
expunged.
Sloane's my favorite character in the Sound Museum.
Yeah.
Go.
It doesn't have to be like this. You have two hands and they're both holding Sloan.
So
I'm love holding Sloane.
I have a production question, a writing question. So most of the writing was. How did writing occur in the show? Did you all collaborate ideas and we had a main writer? Like what? I would like to hear a bit about that if I could.
So I wrote the pilot, just like cold wrote the pilot. And then when the pilot was like a script, I sent it hesitantly and sheepishly to Dante, like, hey, what do you think of this project? He gave it a compliment, and then everything, the rest is history, because that matters. And so then we produced the pilot. I hadn't written more than episode 2 by the end of the pilot production. But then when Faustian Nonsense signed off on being a part of this process, I was like, oh, thank God. Now I can write the rest of the episodes, and I'm not going to shout them into the void for nobody to love or care about. And so then through like last fall and winter, I listened to Will Wood's The Normal Album on loop for about 3 months, went into a fugue state, and wrote most of the episodes of the Sound Museum, except for at one point I was like, hey Dante, I can't do all 8, I'll die. I need you to do a happy episode. And he wrote a very not happy episode because he's a horror writer, and it was just like, no, I got this. We shuffled around where they were, and then every episode of the Sound Museum has gone through thorough Dante editing, because like he is the other half of the brain in writing. Also,
I'm
story
just the
plot.
horny police.
The horny police, and literally the ending of 8 is thanks to Dante, along with a million other things that have happened throughout the show. Has been Dante being like, nothing happens in this episode, and like pulling out a bit of its guts and rearranging them. So it's been very much a collaborative process. Season 2, when it happens,
it has been a process where Lee is being modest and wrote an entire goddamn show, and then just like occasionally took Jiminy Cricket advice. Like they're significantly overselling my work on this project. I just sort of sat and said, hey, listen. Hey, listen.
You were the Navi bugging Lee every once in a while.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
I was Clippy.
Hey, listen.
I was Clippy, except Clippy decided to write 1 page of your essay and then say goodbye.
Hey, it looks like you're writing an audio drama. Would you like some help writing?
Looks like you're trying to write an episode where the theme is joy. Would you like someone to go on a traumatic monologue? Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Have you instead considered nihilism? So
Have you considered the scariest puppet design you've ever seen in your life in an audio medium?
Oh, I'm gonna need. Is it spoilers to talk about it? Because I really want to know about this. I can just go read the scripts. I literally have full access.
Yeah,
to
you
all
have access
TSM
to all the scripts.
Read the scripts.
Oh, but reading is so hard.
You'll be able to listen to it soon because it's being produced, motherfucker.
That episode still needs to be cast, actually.
I know it does, which,
Well, man,
you
who's
know.
got friends that are freaks and really into puppets like that?
Well, we will have a. Are we talking about this right now?
Yeah, we're gonna have a casting announcement now that the show is fully funded and exists. We're going to be casting for the puppeteer.
The first open casting.
Yeah, it's gonna be rad as hell. It's great because it really was supposed to be. The Sound Museum season 1 was getting too dark too fast, and so I said, hey Dante, can you write a joyful episode? And he said,
No.
Now, in my defense,
I got you.
In my defense, it is a joyful look towards the future, and characters talk about how to have joy and like positivity in kind of dark situations. It has a very romantic moment in it, which, hey, that was hard for me to do, but it's there, baby. Don't even get it twisted. What else is in there? It's full of my joy about puppets and animatronics. There's a song.
yeah.
There's an axe. And that's fun.
Axes are happy.
Yeah.
You just
They're
gotta
pretty
chop
rock and
down those
roll.
bad vibes.
A child goes on an amusement park ride.
That's
joy
never
to
gone
me.
wrong.
We love that.
Sounds like joy to me.
Yeah.
Man.
I don't see. There's a gift shop. What part of this is not joyful?
You know, living in Florida, nothing bad has ever happened in an amusement park to any children, including last year or earlier this year. Nothing bad happened to a child falling out of a ride and dying. That didn't happen. So I think it's a great concept for an episode, Dante. You should be proud of yourself.
I will say, it was very much. I was just watching ride footage of Monster Mansion for like 8 billion hours, and then I was like, I love writing about happy things.
Joy. The other joyful episode is Tim's episode. Episode
Yeah.
4.
I am
Other joy.
so stoked for Tim's unhinged
So good.
performance as
I
the
think-
dreamer.
I'm getting too much shit about writing a not joyful joy episode. Lee also was writing a joy episode and also wrote a like tragic introspective like creative process. Like it's
I don't know
also
how to
so
write a-
sad.
I might want to know where I get the joy. Want to know where the joy comes from in the Sound Museum? Sloane and Paris's banter. That's
True.
what caps.
Exactly.
That's what caps the episode. So that then it can be as like dark as you want, and then Sloane and Paris get to be like fi-di fiddly-dee.
It's
That-
the
my-
humanity.
It's the
My-
humanity. That's the secret of the Sound Museum, is that the joy is found in humanity.
The joy was the friends we made along the way.
Literally.
That's right.
My joy comes from Vinny being unhelpful.
Well, that's so true. That's very, very fair.
I am so excited to hear more Vinny stuff now that
Yeah.
we've had the episode 2 read, because
Mm-hmm.
woo,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Vinny
It
sparks
just-
so much joy.
Just gets worse.
I also want to say the one thing that I initially said about Vinny to Lee, I issued a warning and they said, don't worry about that. And if that's not the first tweet that I saw about Vinny,
Well.
quote, you can't put someone in a jar.
Oh yeah. You can't put a guy in a jar.
you can.
I didn't.
I've accepted
and we
fate.
did.
I didn't think.
Look, we all love Rainbow Dash, but it's
I assumed. See, I don't know about Blorbos or Wumps or meows,
meows.
but
Wumps, you know.
I am gonna
Wump
put
art?
someone in a jar.
Aren't Wumps a character in Mario? Aren't they one of like
The
the little,
Wumps.
like
Yeah, they're the
Wumps?
Womps.
And there's
Well, the little
Yeah.
ones are called Womps, I think.
Alrighty. So I think our crowdfunding campaign is dead. Is Mick dead and in the ground?
Yay!
Ooh, it's Mick dead. And
Really?
also, yeah.
Womps are the
Congratulations.
walking thwumps.
Congratulations
walking
and nicely done.
Thank
This-
you.
They act way too humble about how much work they do on this project, but they haven't been a person since they started writing it. But fortunately, it's worth it. I've read the scripts; it's well worth it. This is like, I'm not saying this because like I also worked on the project and whatever, but like this is something that was well worth like signing on to, and everybody who donated to it. You are not taking a shot in the dark. This thing fucks. It's very, very, very good. And we have high hopes for the future of it. And I'm saying all of this because Lee will parse words and beat around the bush. It's very cool. Season 1 is so fucking impressive. They have so many ideas for future fucking seasons. So just hey, make it real big so we can have season 2 and get into some weird stuff. Come party underground with me.
Party. Yeah, it's true. Man.
The number of times that like, and this is hi, welcome to Dante compliments the show hours. As a writer, I'm sure people experience this with like fanfic and stuff like that. But like it lives in your head rent free, and then several times at my office job, I'll just go into a fugue state and send Lee like 16 pages and be like, I know I'm not like, this is before I was writing an episode. I'm like, look, this is like a concept. Here's 16 pages of a premise that I've done. I didn't choose to do this. I just, blacked out and it was exercised out of me.
That's what we call an audition tape. It was when I was just like, oh, because you sent me season 2 episode 9, so everybody get that to happen, and
True.
like a concept for it. I'm like, oh, he gets the show. He gets the whole part of the show. He 100% understands what's going on here.
Understood the
But it
prompt.
was one of those things of like, it had been a while since like a show concept had kind of like gripped me like that in a way that it's like not, oh, I should write for this or I want to. It was just, This is also,
Yeah.
hey, side note, I went to a fugue state and wrote 16 pages while I was like working a job that was mostly like physical too. So I really did just like, instead of like archiving stuff, just sat down, pounded out 16 pages, and then went right back upstairs to archiving and listening to a JFK documentary.
Well, well.
But it's
We've all
really
been
good,
there, haven't
and
we?
everyone should DM Lee a bunch of compliments. So,
Disgusting. Disgusting.
and if they don't answer, send them my way, and then I'll yell them at them.
Disgusting. I won't.
Nah,
So
both.
it's so true though. This is like the first project in quite a few years that I've like felt really passionate about of like things I do. I mostly do theater, not stuff like this, but it's just very nice to care about a project.
Thank you. It matters a lot that people care about it because it's like the only thing I think about when I brush my teeth or walk around or am existing or anything. And I love it with something so cellular. So thank you to everybody who has supported this, both monetarily and just like with their like words and support and everything like that. It goes so long of a way that you have no idea. It's like all fire constantly forever. And now we're done and we can rest for a little bit.
Yay!
Yep. The crowdfunding ended 1 minute ago. So congratulations.
Got him.
At $3,040, we had another $25 pledge right at the end there. So
Hey!
Oh my god. All right, Nat, you ready to make such schedules?
I'm so ready.
Nat's
Love schedules.
my left side, my left hemisphere on things, so I'm very excited to have schedules. Whew, alrighty. So
All right,
thank you
cool,
all.
everyone.
Cool, everybody. Cool game.
Thank you so much for listening to Genre Blind. We'll be doing it anyway.
We'll be doing it. Anyway, yeah. And now we need to talk about something so Tony, what you need to do right now is
yeah.
when the conversation gets spicy enough, just cut the stream. Are you
Yeah.
ready for this? This is how
yeah,
Genre Blind always
absolutely.
ends. Okay.
So, at what point do we let Paris try cannibalism?
I'm thinking that like I should probably ease them in with that like vegan cannibal stuff, but then like, you know, it can't be Vinny because of Kuru, and it can't be just
Yeah.
like a random person.
Vinny's the danger. That's the part you can't eat.
That's literally the part you can't eat. So most likely to be cannibalized in order: Paris, Sloan, Vinny.
Guest. Well, I feel like Guest takes the top spot because like
Yeah.
you always
Yes.
want to eat the least familiar thing first. So like cattle before dogs, dogs before acquaintances, acquaintances
Yeah.
before friends, family, whatever.
Yeah,
Down the
right.
line.
Yeah.
So
So-
if I had to eat one of the people from season 1, I think I would eat the Collector.
Oh, you would eat the Collector? I think I'd probably eat the Collector too.
I feel like first of all, given voice actor, acceptable, would be down. Would,
Meat is
would,
meat.
would
He-
be
he's
ready for
allowed.
it. Meat is
Yeah.
meat is meat. He agrees with us. But also, I feel like he has the most like well-maintained flesh. I feel like the rest of the characters have like either some sort of disease or mania that's just making
Yeah.
them like you would get sick
Yeah,
if you ate the puppeteer.
yeah. You'd get ill if you ate the puppeteer, the
Yeah.
captain,
The
the dreamer.
believer, you'd be full of ghosts.
You'd be
You would
full of
eat her,
ghosts.
and you are full of ghosts.
The believer has tried cannibalism before, as like a thing.
Love her.
I know. The believer's grand.
Well, the Mrs. and the X, baby.
The Mrs. and the X. Alrighty.
Perfect.